All right, here we go. Top of the morning, gang. Let's see if we got everybody in. It says 10, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Somebody's missing, but we'll find them. And we're going to start the way we've been starting lately, which is with a little bit of flamenco. And then we'll get right into the swinging. So, for this flamenco warm-up, it's a posterior chain warm-up awareness. You're going to get nice and tall and put a little hinge on your body. Remember, a hinge means your abs are tight and your spine is nice and neutral. A hinge is not like this. I mean, that is a hinge, but we're looking for a hinge with a nice sturdy upper back, sturdy neutral spine. And you're going to come on forward and raise your heels off the ground and start to punch them. Start to punch them into the ground a little bit like that. Feeling your spine long the whole time. You want to be up long through the spine. I like to put the hands here. You can put them out here if you like. You can put them out to the side. You can have your own kind of style. People are just rolling on in here. Keep them coming. Good morning, Holly. Good morning, Patty. And hinge yourself forward and hammer those heels gently onto the floor. Feel yourself get long. Feel yourself keep breathing. You can do them kind of slow. You can do them faster. Some of you have even traveled. I like to have the feet fairly close together, definitely narrower than shoulder width. And I want you to explore that hinge a little bit. Hinge a little bit deeper while you're doing it. I would say that's deeper than the optimal hinge for this exercise. And then hinge it to where you were, and then come almost straight up with very little hinge. And you can see that works too, but it's a cooler dynamic on the hinge. And now I got my heels waking up, and I got my posterior chain coming online. I can feel these hammies heating up, shoulders are long, and let's get that for about 8, 7, speed them up a little bit, 6, 5, 4, hinge it down a little deeper, 3, 2, and 1, leave them right there, stand up, be kind of still, be quite still, exhale, sink down so that your weight aligns on a point deep in the earth. You feel those heels kind of humming and buzzing, and then step out to shoulder width, and we're going to go into the master's exercise. Open your palms nice and wide. Really stretch the palms, flesh and skin. Put them right up overhead. There's an aligned spine, shoulder hip knee aligned. Let's squeeze the butt a little bit and come out of alignment into an arched back. A standing banana. Exhale up there, stretch your hands far away overhead, and then bring that back into alignment and let them swing. Master's exercise, super simple, little baby squats, letting those shoulders roll all the way around, little tiny bit of hinge, driving your weight first through the heels, and then we'll play with that a little bit. Exhaling as they swing down and through. Let the breath be easy. Let the movement be easy. Keep the arms pretty stiff. Let's keep this cooking for a little while. It's Monday. This is the perfect, super easy warmer upper. Pre-warmer upper, actually. It's so easy, it's a pre-warm-up. And it lets your body know what's coming. Now lean into the balls of the feet a little bit. Let your heels float as you're coming down. You can go a little bit deeper into the knees. This is one time we'll let the knees go way in front of the toes because we're not squatting super deep. And then sit back into the heels. Notice that now the knees don't go too far over the toes. There they are with the weight through the heels, and there they are with the weight through the toes. Subtle differences, super great stuff. Let's go 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, keep them swinging, 2, and 1, put them right up tall. Pull those ribs down and get some arm circles in. Big backwards arm circles, moving these from the shoulder blades. And we are going to go right into some scaption. We're moving from the upper body down. Bring these down lower now for 4 and 3. We're going to get some lightweight dumbbells next, 2 and 1. Now you don't necessarily have to have dumbbells. You can have bean cans. You could do scaption with nothing. I'm using my 3s. Sometimes I go as heavy as 5s on scaption. It's a warm-up, so keep them nice and light. Scaption, I like the feet very close together. shoulders down and back, ribs controlled so the abs are in. Turn your palms forward. Take these on out off the body. Super stiff arms, warn the body a little bit that that's coming. And then right there, take them right up overhead. Now at this point, they're in front of the plane of the body. As they come down, they're not right in the frontal plane. That would be frontal plane. That's not where I am. I'm in front of the frontal plane in the scapular plane. I'm bringing down those slow. We're gonna go 6 all together. Squeeze those bells pretty tight. Drive them far away from your body. Right now, keep your ribs down. Really go up overhead. Push those way up high. Fight them down slowly. Right through there is really where a lot of great stuff is happening. Now we're going to move them slightly further forward for these next 2. Way in front of the scapular plane, but still not in front of us. 45 degrees off the body, controlling your head position, your ribs. Notice how you want to do that. Try not to do that. Fight them back down. Totally stiff arms. Go slow enough that you can feel the gravity. Do another one of them fairly in front of you like that. And then we're going to bring them back towards the scapular plane for the next 2. Really go overhead and see how far you can get them away. As you take those far away from you and forward, you're driving your shoulder blades forward on the rib cage. Relax those hands a little bit, squeeze them, release them around the bells. 2 to go. Squeeze them nice and tight before they go up. Now I'm back close to my body, back to the scapular plane, holding those ribs down and tight. Super effective shoulder blades, shoulder stabilizer, warmer upper. While you're learning about your head position and your ribs, you all look very elegant, very powerful. Last one. Now, if you're not out of steam, if you don't feel significant fatigue in those shoulders and hopefully around the shoulder blades, let's pulse them here. Come down to the bust line, back up to the hairline. 3 of those. Bust line, hairline, abs are tight. And keep them tight, keep them far, and bring them on down. Super good. Everybody hinge forward a little bit. And really super relaxed. Let those do circles. Those shoulder rotator cuffs relax. And then backwards them. And then we'll put those dumbbells aside. And we will get out the chairs. Chairs already, coach? Come on, man. Yeah, let's do it. Get your chairs, turn them sideways. Let's do some yoga push-ups is actually what it says. This is a riff, isn't it? So the yoga push-up, the yoga part of the push-up comes when I push way back here, put those arms overhead just like they were, flatten the ribs towards the floor. It's like a down dog, only we're on our chair. That's why it's called a yoga push-up. On the floor, it would be total yoga. So let's do a little baby push-up. You don't even have to go all the way down. Adduct that chair. And then come back up and pike it way back. Big flat back. Let's get 7 more of those. Come forward. If you're feeling good, you can go deeper, but don't feel that you have to. Keep your chin tucked back, work on your head position, and adducting that chair. Drive it way back, stretch the hammies, stretch through your whole body. Back to a rock solid plank. Get used to squeezing that butt, pulling the navel in. And as you go down on that, adduct that chair. Push in. Trying to gauge across the pecs. It really doesn't matter how deep you go. If you can go all the way down, do it. If you only go part way down, but you know you got your pecs in the game, you're doing great. Drive way back. I'm going to say that's 4. Let's get 3 more. Tuck the chin. Practice arriving in a really powerful plank position every time. And then keeping your lumbar long and extended as you drive back. Get your arms up in your ears. Stretch those hamstrings. My hamstring stretches have been making me so happy lately. 2 to go. Let's see how you look. Nice pike, Karen. Super good. Yeah, awesome spine there. As you push those back, Mark, everything's really great. Just put a little more fire in those erectors so you can really feel that stand. Yeah, long and strong and neutral. Marvelous. Marvelous, marvelous. Love that pike. I bet that's about 2. Come on up and roll your wrists out. And let's do that funky, vibrant fitness neck stretch. And then we're gonna hit the chair again for some mountain climbers and posterior chain stretch. So my feet are about shoulder width apart. I'm gonna grab behind my neck, pull my head back into my hands and resist as I bring the elbows in by the temples And bend that neck just a chin into the Adam's apple. So that's the first pair of vertebrae, and then a little further for the next pair of vertebrae. And then a little further, and this is a forceful move against your own resistance, and you're continuing to bow it down. Looking to feel that line of muscle and fascia from the base of your skull right down your thoracic spine, stretching longer and longer. Curl yourself in as if you would put your upper top of your head on your belt buckle. Exhale. One more before we start back up. To start back up, you drop your butt towards your heels. I know you can't really look at me. I don't think you need to. Drive through your whole foot and start to stand up. One vertebrae at a time now. We're going to come back up. My lumbar, my pelvis is level. My lumbar is upright. My thoracic is still bent. I'm unwinding it slowly against resistance. The resistance really takes some time to attenuate. I'm about to let go of my head and neck, and I find that my neck continues to look up by its own tissue elasticity. And I bring it back. I look straight ahead forward. You're going to drop your arm behind your back and bend that left ear towards the left shoulder, or whichever one you got. Exhale. Drop your right shoulder. Feel the skyline of your trapezius stretching down here. And then look up. Look up with your chin and your eyes. See if you can feel that stretch come down from here to your collarbones, to your clavicle, to your sternum. And then bend it down slowly. See if you can feel that warding line of that stretch move from the back of the skull into the shoulder blade. Exhale that down. One more exhale there. Bring it back to level. Feel that skyline stretch. 3, 2, 1, and ease it off slowly. Give that a little bit of a shrug. Should be more intensely stretched notably than the other side. Let's catch them up. Drop that back. It's loose. It's back there. A little bit of resistance. Pull that to the side. Ear towards the shoulder. That's lateral neck flexion, which tends to go away because we don't use it much. Give that some time to stretch and open, and then look up at the sky. See if there's any birdies up there or spider webs. Move your jaw around. Feel that stretch line down your neck. How grand is it to give some attention to your neck? Bend it down. Look at your right shoulder. Whichever shoulder you're down, really rotate your head a little bit. As you rotate that head, you'll feel that stretch come into the back of the neck. Exhale again there. And then bring it back to flat and let it come back up to the center. Roll that shoulder around. Let's shrug both the shoulders up. That's actually a pretty good time to do some shoulder shrugs, and then we'll go into the chair thing. Let's do some squares with our scapula. Spine's nice and tall. Shoulder blades are going to come back, palms forward, as if the shoulder blades are pushing together, going up and down 6 times. Palms forward, way up into an intense shrug, and then way down. Up and down. Feel those shoulder blades moving on your rib cage. Really remarkable. Let's keep them in an uncomfortable shrug now, and bring them forward and back. Notice the internal rotation of the hands and external of the arms. Bringing those blades together, pinching them back. Notice how your spine wants to go with it, which isn't terrible, but do engage your ability to keep the spine neutral. As these scaps move forward and back, let's leave them forward. Pull them way forward, take them down and up. My palms are in. I'm stretching the skin between my shoulder blades, stretching the muscles between my shoulder blades, keeping my head back. For 2 more, 2, and 1, leave them down. Really stretch those traps, stretch these skylines of your neck, open them and close them. Notice the difference of how when the ribs go with it and the spine goes with it as compared to when they do not. Both are okay, just know that you can do both and engage that control. Super good. 3, and 2, and 1. Now let's leave the arms to the side and do 5 forward circles all the way around. As wide as you can. That's my ribs and spine moving. That's my ribs and spine not moving. You got them. And backwards. 6 with a little undulation. And 4, and now lock up the abs and the chin tuck. And 2, move those way back together. Super good. Let them swing. This is a ballistic arm stretch. Palms forward when they're back, palms down when they're forward. Boing and boing and boing. Let's do some mountain climbers on the chair into a posterior chain stretch. I'm gonna come down into my push-up position. Long straight line from the ankle through the knee, through the hip, through the shoulder. And what did I say we're doing? Mountain climbers, yes. Bring one knee up towards the same side elbow. Slowly exhale as it comes up, drawing it from the navel towards that elbow. Give a little exhale. Now you're gonna go into Spider-Man. So I'm gonna take that out to the side and the other one to the side. And when that left knee's coming up, I'm squeezing my right glute, keeping the navel tucked in, chin tucked back, eyes on the back of the chair. One more each side, and then we're gonna cross them up. So it's left knee to the right elbow, kind of slow. From the navel, watching your core. Exhaling on that drive, shoulders driven forward, eyes on the back of the chair, David, Zia. And now we're going to throw that left leg up by left foot up by the leg of the chair and go into a posterior chain stretch. This is part A, big open anterior. Part B, you raise that front toe. Get that where I can see it. Raise that front toe, round your whole back. Let's get 6 of those. Inhale it here, exhale it here. Very brief pause at each end point. 3. Really round that spine when you're part B. Part A is great. Part B is really where the name comes from. And this is 5. Posterior chain stretch. And hold it a little longer on 6. Make sure you're raising that toe, pushing through the heel, straining that leg, pulling the navel into the spine. Forehead towards the knee and back to the plank. Step that one back, put the other one up. There's not a lot of weight on your hands or wrists here. There is some, but it's really just a support for your movement. As you get good at this, you can go on lower and lower objects, lower than your chair, all the way down to a driftwood log on the beach or a yoga block, or even hands on the floor. It's an inhale in part A, big open lung space, and it's an exhale in part B. It's going to be 4. I got 5. And here comes 6 open. Feel that hip flexor stretch, feel that butt squeeze, and then round them all up and push into that. Feel free to pulse a little bit, move your butt side to side, feel where you feel that. Navel to the spine, round things out. And come on out of there. Super good. Step them up and out. And let's shake those out and roll the hands a little bit. Roll the wrists, that is. Get some juice back into those wrists. Roll in both directions. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's get about 40 squats. Let's start with the catapult. Elbows back, pulling your hand back into your head. Start your squat nice and shallow. Feet are shoulder width wide. We're driving back into the heels. Long neutral spine. Pull those elbows back. Feel that tall thoracic. 7, 8. Let's explode the hands out at 10. 9, and 10. Bring them up in counter movement. 9, 8, 7. Step a little wider. 6, 5. Let's hang out at the bottom here. Doom, doom. Can you push your knees out with your elbows or your hands a little bit? Can you feel that spine tall? Can you sit deeper into the heels for a few? And then come up kind of into the toes for a few. And come back into those heels, long, tall spine. And let's come back up now for 3 and 2. We're going to do our final 10-10 with the side steps. So I'm always wide when I'm down. I'm going to come up this side and down, and then this side and down, and then 9. Using that lateral motion. Try different things with your hands. You can come out here. Make it your workout and master this squat. Feel where you want to come down through the foot, how you want your spine to be. 6 and 6. 5. There is no rush. You don't have to be right with me. And 4 and 4 and 3. 3. Get every one of them. 2 and 2 and 1 and 1. Step those out a little bit. Let's do our hip sequence. For the hip sequence, I'm going to have this chair back available, but I don't want to use it unless I need it. It's a hip mobility sequence. We're going to do the right foot first, and it's going to come up into flexion, heel down extension. Flexion, we're going to do about 4 of these each. Bring it up, spine's nice and neutral, coming from the navel and back down. Super good. Now drop it back just behind the other foot. Let's get some internal rotation and external rotation. Keeping your pelvis pretty steady. If it moves a little bit, that's fine, but we're trying to move this leg. And 4 and 4. Now we're going to put this left leg at 90 degrees, knees fairly close together, and we're going to go external and internal. Once again, keeping the pelvis pretty steady for this one, in contrast with what we do next, in which this leg does not rotate and this standing leg does. We call this the weather vane. Look at that way and look at that way. I do need the chair on this. I aspire to doing this without the chair, but it takes some real slowness and attention and centeredness, attention in your navel, behind your navel, in your dantian. On these last couple, stay at that end range, push it pretty far with the chair and with the inner muscles, and then stay at the end range here and push it pretty far with the chair and your inner muscles. Super good. Swing that standing leg a little bit, and let's put it down. Rise the weight up out of there, pour your weight into that one, and let's go. Flexion, heel down extension. Flexion, heel down extension. 3, boom, and 4, boom. Super good. Drop it back for the cigarette drill. Internal and external, internal and external. Rotate that as far as you can without moving your hip much. And 4, and now you're going to do the same thing with those knees together, knee at 90. Internal, external, internal, external. 3 and 3, 4 and 4. Weather vane. I'm coming closer to my chair. Once over there, once over there. Moving that pelvis. Good, good, good. So you can feel the difference between when your muscles make that happen and when you're pushing on the chair makes it happen. Both are good. Go to the end range pretty far, and the other end range pretty far, and put that down. Swing it. Big stiff leg. And let's dump the, I'm going to hinge that briefly, just super briefly, we'll stretch it later. Then I'm going to sink into that first leg, take it to the next level here. We're going to go knee flexed, and I'm sorry, that's a hip flex. And what do we do here? I got a new one. I'm not going to bring it till tomorrow. Let's do the one we did last week. So that's 3, take that back to hyperextension. Hyperextension means that knee is behind the other knee. Still trying to control the core. 2, 3, 90-degree knee, and 4. Now we're going to go horizontal abduction. Out to the side, get back in. When it comes back in, cross the center line with it. Bring it all the way across. 3 and 4, and now take it out and dip it into external rotation. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 4. Bring it out, horizontal in, put it down, super good. All right, knee at 90, hyperextension, back up, hyperextension, back up, 3, and 4. How's your lumbar control? It's tricky. Now open it, close it, open it. Yeah, nice, across the center line. You reminded me, David, get it across that center line. Super good. And open it wide, dip it in. Now that one is not going to happen without some pelvic motion, right? The pelvis has to open a little bit for that, has to come back in. 3 and 4. Super good. Bring them down, march them out. Good, good, good. All right, let's do some lunges on that. I've got some new lines on my floor. I'm sure some of you noticed. Now, you're not going to have lines on your floor, but they're going to help you imagine your lines on the floor. Let's do our 4, 4, 4, 6 lunges. The first 4 are on the railroad tracks. My first 2 lines are railroad tracks. This is a warm-up. I'm not going crazy deep. I'm watching how far I go. There's 4. The second 4 is wide base internal rotation. 1, knee right over the ankle. 2 and 3 and 4. The third one is an inline lunge. 1, and today we're going to be messing with the base of support, the depth of the base of support. Now come back to your base of support, your standard railroad tracks, and go as deep as you dare for 6 more. This leg's probably tired by now. This leg's doing more work, but this one's kind of screaming. 4, 5, and 6. March them up. Boom, boom, boom. Same sequence with the other leg. I'm going to talk about depth of base as I do this. So I'm on my railroad tracks, and I'm nice and tall, and I'm trying not to hinge forward. We do hinge forward sometimes intentionally. It's good that we know the difference. I'm thinking out wide and aim it in. Now, even when I'm wide and in, if I were to touch that to the ground, I'd want a pretty vertical femur here and a pretty vertical shin here. 3 and 4. Same on the initial tightrope. There should be a fair amount of space between this knee and this ankle on these. But we can be too deep also. We're going to work with that today live. All right, base of support, 6 deep ones. This is where you're really working. Really try to be as upright as you can, driving through that front heel. If you know you're leaning forward, put your hand on your knee here. Use that to kind of keep you aware and maybe keep you more upright. 5 and 6. March them up and out. Woo! Pretty good. Let's get 10 sumos, go into some sumo squats, and go into calf raises. My feet are distinctly wider than shoulder width. My toes are aimed out a little less than 45 degrees. I'm going to do some tall squats. Pushing my knees out and wide, stretching the adductors. Totally great to push those knees out on this. Use your natural supports. That's 5 probably. Let's stay down and push those out a little bit and go side to side. You feel your upper body supports helping you out. And let's get 4 more of those. Take them down deep. Squeeze the butt at the top. 3, 2, and 1. With the feet just that wide, let's try 10 calf raises. That's a weird calf raise. Rock the toes back, drive up. We're working on the inside toes, the big toe at the top, and the second toe, really driving them into the footbed, into the floor. 5, 6. You may critique my count quietly to yourself. 7, 8. Driving pretty hard. Feel those toes, those calves. 9 and 10. You guys have got balance coming on. Toes together, just about touching or touching, heels out, pigeon-toed. Drive them up for 10. Really driving your baby toes. Try to drive all your small toes, particularly the ones on the outside lateral. Try to kind of soften your big toe. So you can just use those sleepy toes. When you're down, raise them up against the tops of your shoes. Wake them up like they're cold in your ski boots. Drive them down for 4 more. 3, drive those toes. 2, and 1, super good. Parallel them up. Let's get 4 regulars. Forward and rock them. Notice when I rock them, I can hinge my butt back a little bit. 3 and 4. Let's get 6 on the left. 6. And if that right one helps a little bit, that's fine. Take it way up high. Drive all 5 toes. 2 and 1. 6 on the right. Drive all your toes. 5. Yeah, that chair's a great idea. 3, 2, and 1. Let's do 6 more. We're going to slow them down after as we approach the last ones, and we're going to stay up. There's 4. Let's stay up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay up for 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. Let's stay up for 8, 7, 6. Drive all those toes. Get tall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Super good. Rock them back. Let's hit the wall for 1 good calf stretch. Long calf stretch on each calf. Right one's back, driving through the heel. Hinging the hips forward from the ankle till that heel almost floats or does float. And then adjust your push, look at the wall, and drive back into it for 4 more exhales. Give that calf some time to let go. That's 3, 2 more exhales now with that knee bent. Bend the knee for 1, and 2, wiggling it side to side a little bit. As I come out of there, I'm gonna wiggle that. I'm gonna rotate that a couple of times to get the blood back into it, and come back into the other foot. Heel down, long leg, exhale forward till that heel floats. And look at the wall. Taking some time to lengthen that calf. Two more exhales with that knee bent. Bend the knee, see if you can feel that stretch come down into the soleus, the lower part of the calf. Wiggle it a little bit side to side. Ah, super good. Come on out. And rotate those around a little bit. Marvelous. We are gonna start with the squat push core. Got some very strange core today. I would like you to have your fitness ball and your foam roller for some of the funky push chest work we're gonna do. And we will start the squats with the ball also. If we totally use a dumbbell, we might do that later this week. We're going to start squats with the ball in our hands. I'm going to get a little bigger ball because most of you have this bigger ball. And here we go. This one's, we'll work our way through it. And if I find I didn't tell you enough about it, I'll stop it and we'll talk about it. So we're going to do a changing base squat in phase. In phase squat means when I'm down, and when I'm up, this ball comes up. So I'm down and up and up. And the changing base of support means after 4 of those, I'm gonna step 1 foot wider. Now if you wanna go up to the top of your hairline, you may. Bring it right down and touch where you go further overhead next. This is just supposed to be to the front of the body. Change another base of support, going out wider towards the sumo now. Long, stiff arms. Even adducting that ball a little bit, squeezing it in on for the pecs. I got my 1 more wide. That's as wide as I'm going to go. So after 4 of those, I'm going to step in a little bit. Now, if you're wishing you had a dumbbell for this, keep that in mind for next time. Maybe not next round, tomorrow. I'm going to bring one in a little bit closer. And the next time we do this one, we're going to go out of phase, which means as we go down, the ball is going to go up. Keep stepping them in a little narrower. Super good. All right, now we're going to adduct our palms, which we've done before. I'm gonna put these right down by the sternum. Next time we're gonna do this with the ball. We're gonna squeeze the ball. So you're finding your pecs, you're finding your adduction. You're gonna pulse these 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We started early, which is good. These are straight across. You're trying to find your pecs. The palms are close to the body. Now bring them down to the solar plexus. Squeeze them like that. Shoulders are back at this point. Not crazy back, but not forward. We're gonna bring them forward soon. 3, 2, 3. So right to the throat. 1, 2, 3. You're pressing these quite hard. Your job is to engage your pectoralis and your shoulders. 3, 2, 3. Right on the nose bridge. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3. Right up to the hairline. 1, 2, 3. 2, 2, 3. Now right at the sternum, 6 inches off your body, round those shoulders forward. 3, 2, 2, 3. Really find those pecs. 2, 3. Solar plexus. 1, 2. Hunch them forward. This is like a flex, like a bodybuilder flex. 3. Excellent. That's where we got. And we're gonna hit the flooring plank. I didn't warn you. You guys want a moment to set up your mats? We're gonna come down and plank, and we're gonna vary these planks up. Let's see how we got here. Come on down, and we're gonna be live in 12. If you're a little late, don't worry about it. Let's see if you can see me here. Remember to get your shoulders nice and far forward. Squeeze the navel to the spine. Even squeeze your butt a little bit if you can. There's your knee plank. If you're at knee plank level, that's fine. Work on keeping those abs tight and the chin tucked back. If you're ready to go to full length even for a little while is great. The actual official guideline here is going to be full length, and when you need it, drop one knee and drive it into the mat for a little bit of support and help. Focusing on your abs, your navel, draw in. Now I'm up at full length, and then I'm going to drop the other knee. Driving my right knee. Even weight between my right knee and my left toe, and then bringing them up. A couple seconds at full length. That should be a more difficult plank. Feel free to pike a little bit. When you drop that knee, don't raise your pelvis. Don't come into a lumbar extension. Keep that navel drawn in, lumbar controlled. Make it yours. Super good. Drive the other one. We're almost there. 4, 3. Squeeze it tight. 2 and 1. All right, we are up for squats again. Yes, we're getting up and down a lot. Don't worry about being a little late to the show. All right, let's hold the ball out in front of us like this. This is kind of strange. Reach forward a little bit and squeeze it. Can you squeeze that, and can you feel your pecs squeeze? Now, if I go way out and hug it, I am hugging, but I'm not really adducting. You may go closer or farther. Try to squeeze that from your pecs, and then roll it up a little bit. Try to squeeze it from your pecs. Imagine you've got like ant pinchers. My arms and elbows are bent like ant pinchers. Now this is a wide grip. I don't have a lot of strength here, but I'm gonna try and find those pecs anyway. Bring it up a little higher, that's upper pecs. And now take the arms out of it and use the elbows. Take the hands out of it and try the elbows. That's if my wrists were hurt and I wanted to work my pecs. I could do it like that. Can you feel that squeeze, squeeze, and down. Now round forward like that flex. Round the thoracic, drive your scaps forward. Squeeze that ball. Can you feel the pecs? Can you actually feel your pectoralis majors doing that weird thing like a big balls? Yeah, you're doing a heroic effort. That's fantastic. All right. We're going right to the squat. I switched order on that inadvertently. So my feet are shoulder width now, and as I go down, the ball is coming up. I'm going to aim to get that up all the way to a straight line over my head. If any of you want to throw that right down and get your heavier dumbbell, you may, but I think this is going to be pretty darn good. And let's narrow the base of support. 4 squats, step one foot in a little bit. 4 squats, step the other foot in a little bit. Go right down as that goes up. See how high you can get it. Working that shoulder range of motion. My feet are all the way together now. Long, stiff arms. I'm gonna step one out a little bit. 3 and 4, stepping the other one out a little bit. I'm almost at shoulder width already. That's turning into some pretty good upper body work, isn't it? Take one out wider yet, 10 seconds to go. Keep your butt back and your knees wide. And the other one out, pushing into a plie sumo. 2, and we're gonna plank again. Now, if you love your ball, you wanna go right into ball rollouts, you may, or you can use the ball to help you get down on the floor, but let's hit the deck. Ups and downs are kind of grueling. Well, if you do a bunch, they are. All right, you're fine on that ball, man. Get your elbows in it, drive those scaps forward. Here's my knee plank, here's my full length plank. If you're on the ball, you're doing ball rollouts. If you're in your plank, you're doing punch planks. So I'm gonna drop my left knee, keep my right knee long, punch with my left arm, bring it back. Full plank, right drop, right punch, bring it back. Full length, butt squeeze, dabbed in, knee drop, punch plank. Whatever you got's fine, Sherry. Put a little round on that spine and come on up. Knee planks are fine. Tuck them under, tuck that butt under, feel your navel come to your spine. You got the punch plank, do it. Awesome, Mary, you got it going on. Good lumbar, Holly. Squeezing your butt, squeezing your abs. Those look pretty easy, Karen. Drop your hips a little lower, drive those out further away. Way out there, Karen, get it out there, get it out there. And keep those squeezing. We're getting close. 4, 3, 2, 1, and drive forward. Thank you, Sherry. That was excellent camera view. You do want to get those scaps forward a little bit more. Come along. I know you don't love them, but they're coming. All right, we are back up for squat with the ball. Let's take a dumbbell if you like. Ball or dumbbell, your ball's fine. We're gonna go overhead. It can be a lightweight dumbbell, shoulder width, squat them down. It's an overhead squat, and it's not super easy. And if it's too difficult, you're welcome to go back to the out of phase or the in phase. If you can keep them up there, do it with your chin tucked, your head back, and your eyes ahead. Looking good. Now step a nice wide base of support, and notice how that gets easier. When you go sumo, you can control your torso more, you can keep it upright more. If you need a break, bring these down when they're down, up when they're up, down when they're down, up when they're up. If you can keep them up with your shoulder blades pinched together, that's super good. Yeah. Interesting how this is harder than moving it. You get more of a break if you move it. All right. Do you have your foam roller? Let's try a foam roller adduction. You thought the ball was weird. Wait till you try this foam roller. Probably I should have stayed with the ball. To not get too weird at once. Grab these out wide. Play with your elbow height. And squeeze those pecs. It's going to be a pulsy thing. You can put a little round in and get them out there. Get it up as high as your chin. And you got to pulse it. What do your elbows want to do? Your elbows want to come in close, or they want to come out wide. Try 4 of them out wide. Really out wide. Press them like that. Really squeezing it, and then try 4 of them with in close. In close like that. That gets more of an internal rotation. I'm going to say that's a little less pec, yeah? And get them out wide again and close to your body. A shorter roller is good, David. In fact, those are nice. You can really feel it. Now round those scaps forward, hunch your thoracic, feel them in there. That's pretty weird, getting some serratus. This is the time you're authorized to round your thoracic. Mark and Marion, everybody, yeah, find those pecs, 9 seconds. Really squeeze them. It's a strange motion. Elbows out, elbows in, elbows out. Super good. Anything we can do to help find our pecs more, I'm in. All right, we're gonna knee plank again. Knee plank and clock. We're gonna try clock plank. If you love your ball rollouts, you can totally do them. Clock plank means we're going to lift each limb in turn. So either from the knees or the full length. Let's punch one out, because we did that before. Bring it back. We're going to hold them for a 2 count. Punch, 2, 3, bring it back. Raise a foot. When I'm raising one foot, I'm keeping my lumbar controlled, butt tight. Put it down, raise the other one. 3 count. We'll make it 3, 2, 1. Super good. Now to punch my arm out without dropping a knee really requires stability, but some of you can do it. Punching the arms out is harder than punching the legs out. Legs lift, core stays controlled, low back gets turned on. Marvelous, clock them around. Excellent, you got a bird dog clock going, Karen, I love it. Bird dog clocks when I lift an opposite leg and arm. Totally good. Bird dog plank. Keep your forearms parallel. Drive those shoulder blades forward, share, get your sternum off. Good, good work. That's 9. We did the whole thing. Take a breather. Get some water. Come on up. We'll start the next round in 45 seconds. Can you feel those pecs? You stretch them out a little bit. Hold that thought. We're going to move into the split pull hinge. We will need the stick, and we're going to do lunges first for the split and lightweight dumbbells for the pull. Pull is going to be a hinge varying T's and Y's and A's. I like to keep some surprise, but not too much. Let's lunge. So we talked a little bit at the beginning about varying this depth of base. I like everybody to come down like this, unless you have some reason why you can't. This is what I call the genesis of the lunge. Genesis of the lunge is a half kneel, also called a 90-90. 90 degrees at the knee, 90 degrees at the back leg. And that's a pretty perfect lunge. If you can tuck your toes under there and come up totally controlled, you're above average. That's pretty intense. I also like it a little bit further back, but not too far back. If it goes too far back, I'm going to be going into excessive lumbar extension. So what we're going to do is when we're lunging here, our first one on each line is going to be there. We're going to do 3 there, and then we're going to do 3 a little closer. And then the last 3 are going to be up that close, where if I come down my toes, my knee's almost up to my toe. I'm asking a lot of precision here. You don't have to get it right on, but that's the idea. So here we go. We're live in 12 seconds. I'm on my railroad tracks basis support. I'm dropping this back. Yeah, I saw Mary's got her stick. If anybody wants to use their stick to help them out with this, it's totally good. This first one's going to be my perfectly natural one. 1 and 2. After 3, I'm going to shallow that base right on this line. There's 3. Shallow it up. Still on that line. And 2 and 3. Shallow it even more. Notice how that knee's coming down. This is almost like an offset squat. And then I'm going out deep on that wide one. So there's my Genesis lunge, my 2 and 3. Now I'm coming up that line. Shallow that base, still wide. 2 and 3. We'll switch them out right now. We'll pick it up next time. Drop that one back, other leg. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up a little bit. 3 and 2 and 1. Up a bit more. Your pace. You don't have to be with me. I got all 3. Now I'm going out wide. 3, 2, 1. A little bit shallower. 3, 2, 1. Woo! That's pretty complex, and you're tracking it. I love it. Get your lightweight dumbbells. I'm using actually 3s here. And we're going to do our hinge T. A T means comes out like this, coming from the humerus in the scap, and the scap's retracting. And we're going to vary our hinge. Feet close together, hinge down. Chest almost parallel to the floor. Bring up 3 of those. 2 and 1. Your chin's tucked back, your eyes are forward. Hinge a little deeper if you can. Now I'm actually very close to horizontal. I feel like my head's below my hips, but it's not. Now come back up a little bit. 3 and 2 and 1. Now come up a little higher, where we tend to go when we're tired. And it's not quite the same action, but it's pretty cool. Now come up even one more. Now that's really coming up into the traps. I'm opening up into that T and now hinge back down to where you really like it. Use the next 18 seconds to find your ideal hinge depth. To really keep that head right, spine long, scaps coming together, all in the T. Play with little depth differences in that hinge. And bring it on up. Reach for your stick. We're going to do some standard good mornings. Good morning is up here. Take your time getting up there. You got it. Feet right close together. We're going to keep the feet together for this whole one. Push your butt back. Don't expect them to go super deep the first time. Take your time with them. Take them down. Watch your head and chin position. That spine looks great. Excellent, excellent. Oh, y'all look really good in your thoracic this morning. Head staying tucked back. Make sure you're leaning back, your butt's back so you can tap your toes when you're down. And let's, if you're game, change to that vertical stick. With that vertical stick, use that to feel your neutral spine. If you can't get your head to the stick, that's fine. This arm up here actually helps to unwind that thoracic. Play with your knee bend difference. Now the stick there is great. It's really great when you can really pay attention, when I can actually tell when I'm rounding that lumbar against my thumb and the stick comes off my butt. How low can you go with that? Super impressive. You guys look great. You all look great. All right, we're going to do this same lunge now. This time we're going to start it out wide, because that's where we got to. Start it out wide at full depth, and then from here we're going to go over to in line. So the second move is going to be in line. So here we are, full depth, 3 of these. 1 and 2 and 3. Shallow that up. 1 and 2 and 3. See how that toe is walking right up that line, and that knee is right on the line, so that ankle is hidden right under that shin. And now I'm going to full depth in line. This is tricky for balance. Use the stick if you want. 2 and 3. Shallow it up. 1 and 2 and 3. Super good. Switch them out. Big and broad. 1 and 2 and 3. Part way up. 1. Watch that front knee. You can really see that front knee stand over the ankle. 1 more of those. Almost an offset squat. Almost in the knee to my instep. In line deep. 3 and 2 and 1. Shallower. And 2 and 1. Oh, don't we wish we had more time for those? We'll keep them going. Dumbbells. These are going to be Ys. Ys are the most difficult. That means you just have to come up above horizontal. It's a little unpleasant. It's really good for your thoracic extension. You can vary how high. Hinge it a little bit. Bring them up. Take care of yourselves. If this doesn't work for you, bring them back to T's. There's 3. I'm going to hinge a little deeper. Long spine. Raising those up. Really feel them coming from the shoulder blades. Hinge a little deeper. Sternum towards the floor. Chin still tucked back. 1, 2, and 3. Coming up a little bit. All Ys as much as you can Y. You're doing great, Mare. You're doing great, yeah. Yeah, so you got a full T going on, which is just great. Yeah, totally good. And then work your hinge up a little higher. This is kind of strange. There's almost no hinge, but it's still quite worthwhile. We're still getting overhead range. And then come down to where you love it best, plus a tiny bit deeper. I think your optimal hinge is the one that you're quite comfortable with, plus a little bit more. To really work those hamstrings and change that thoracic medicine, y'all. Every one of you is working that just right. All right, good morning. Wide stance, feet forward. You may switch the stick at the cuckoo or not. This one's really great. You should find that you have more control over your lumbar and you're able to keep your knees straighter. Yeah, and this is fine. And then some of you like this. down here. This can still help to keep your shoulders back and thoracic upright. We're looking for thoracic neutrality. Yeah. Push them way back through that butt. Slow a few down, see how far you can go. Can you feel your hamstrings and adductors being the prime movers? Glutes are in the game, but we're loving the hamstrings on this one. Good, good, good. On the last one, we'll do this the second half and we'll add some rotations. But right now, just really try to feel that whole posterior chain working with your scaps back and your navel drawn in. It looks super good. I honestly can't critique hardly anything there. You're looking great. This is the vertical stick for marvelous. All right, one more set of lunges. We're gonna pick them up on the tightrope. So you might want your stick. I always drop my right leg first. That's how I know where I'm at. I'll drop this back at full depth in line on the tightrope, as I like to say. We get 3 of them there. 3, 2, 1. Narrow that base. 3 and 2. Still trying to drive that front heel. 1. Now my knee actually exceeded my heel here, but that's all right. I'm still in line. I'm still standing on my 2x4. Back to base of support. Shoulder width base. 2 and 1. Bring it up some. 3 and 2. Now as it comes up, notice how this knee comes forward, which is okay, but stay on that heel. Switch them out, in line. 3 and 2 and 1. Notice we're making this more of an exploration than a race or than a grunt. Last 3 there. 2 and 1. Shoulder width, full depth. 3 and 2 and 1. Shallow it up. 3 and 2. I will take it. That's fantastic. All right, we're gonna do A's with your dumbbells. We're gonna hinge and do A's just like that. This is the easiest, safest one. We do want to have external rotation when we're back, but by all means explore with some that's not externally rotated. That's best scapular retraction. Hinge them down, bring them back. 3, 2, bring them all the way in front of you, and 1, hinge a little deeper. 3, and 2. If you're wishing you had heavier dumbbells, keep that in mind for next time. Back up fairly high, above your most comfortable angle. 1, and now up nice and high, almost to upright. Get a good squeeze on those. And then find your favorite plus a little bit and work them right there. 2, and 1. Keep them going. If it's pretty easy, pause them back there and pulse them, pulse them, pulse them. The head back, pinching mid-back, pinching shoulder blades. Those look great. Keep them out a little wider, I think, David. When they come in, you're going to mess those up a little bit. Out wide. Super good. Fun stuff. All right, good mornings. Feet right together. Let's do 2, 2, 2, 2 until the cuckoo, and then we're going to step them wide. By 2, 2, 2, 2, I mean 2 on both legs, and then 2, almost all your weight on your left leg. Right leg's on the toe. Really hinging into that 1, 2, and then the other one. See, that's so good. We're going to do that the whole round. We'll split them wide later this week. So 2 on one leg, and that other foot can drop back so the toes at the heel. Makes it a bit of an offset good morning, right? The job is to really load that leading hamstring. If you want to go to 3, 3, you may. We're going to do this throughout the minute. Make it yours, make it your exploration. Keep that thoracic long, chin tucked. Feel that hamstring heating up. There's 3, I'm switching it out again. 3 and 2. Remember, we also got the SLDL option if you're really feeling rowdy this morning. With the offset, good morning's fine. Bringing them down. Now, feel, that's fantastic. Let's stay there for a little bit longer. Let's go nice and slow on that. Come right on down. Now notice how that stick is keeping your thoracic upright. Now add a little support to that by really firing those upper thoracics. So that it's not just the stick keeping you upright, it's your thoracic erectors. That's these muscles right alongside your spine that are pulling that down. Oh my gosh, we're having too much fun. Stay down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring them on up. Super duper good. My goodness. I think I got lost in the teaching. Let's get a little bit of stretching anyway here. Swing those arms forward and back. And let's get the pecs for a good exhale. Palms open, head back. Go ahead and pop your ribs and arch your back. And then feel what it's like to keep those arms back and control the ribs. Bring them down and then pop them out again. Notice how that's a lumbar and thoracic effect. It's really good. And then spring them a little bit. And let's get yoga shoulders right to here. And stop that buzzer. Go up and down with those. Bring them up and down. And then we're going to round the thoracic and dome out the back and drive the elbows forward. And exhale. Take another breath in. Push it into your back and exhale. And come on up. Swing 3 times and then switch arms. Get the other arm under. Bring this up and down, up and down. And then big breath in, hold it. Round those out. Rotate away from it. And let them go. Thank you very much on that one.